Hi, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Fernando Otero. I'm going to be talking about fast feature delivery in times of hypergrowth. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about myself first. I'm VP of Engineering at Rappi. I've been doing software for more than 18 years now and doing personalization and search since 2015. Um, I have a team of about 30 developers that we focus mainly on search at Rappi. And what is Rappi? So Rappi, it's a super app in Latin America. Rappi, you can think of it of an app in your phone where you can order anything, from supermarkets. We deliver your butcher from next door, or your favorite bread from a bakery that it's a couple of miles away from your place. We also have e-commerce, so you can order an iPhone, you can order a fridge for your kitchen, you can have some other things that within the app that are not deliverables, like you can book a hotel room, you can book a flight. There are pets, there are live concerts within the app. So it's an app that started business in 2015, around 2015, and in 2019 received $1 billion investment from SoftBank. So as you can imagine, we grew a lot and super fast. I joined Rappi in mid 2019 to start unifying some of the search experiences that we had. Um, so that growth comes with some problems, some challenges, in my opinion, which is a lot of chaos. The way we started to grow was given independence to each team. So restaurants team had their own stack, supermarkets had their own stack, and every single team had their own technology stack and different technologies. So to give you an idea, we have more than 1,000 microservices in production. That is more than one microservice per developer. And written in different languages. So as I said, each vertical, each business unit had their own technology. So there are some things written in Golang, some things in Rustlang, some things in Java, Kotlin, Python, Node, you name it. My team in particular, we started to unify all that, but we mainly work with Golang, and there are a couple of Node.js services still. And we don't have a proper staging environment, so we only have development, which is an environment where we have fake data, and production. So those are the two states, and that's the scenario that I found when I joined Rappi. So the first use case was that I needed to get the data right to prove that all the things that I was going to develop, all the features that we were going to put in production, were actually worthwhile. So I needed to have good tracking and a way to put things and to test them. Luckily, when I joined, I realized that we had split, which I never worked with it before, and we noticed that there was these cool things called the targeting rules and whitelists, and we use them a lot. We operate in 9 countries. I didn't say that before. It's Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia, the three big ones, and then we have Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, Peru, Costa Rica. Um, and the thing is, we want to put things. We want to iterate fast. So one of the things we do is we use there are two control groups in basically every single experiment that we run. We create one split where we assign 5% of this is the configuration for that split. At the beginning of a development cycle, which lasts 2 months, we define a split that has the name of the cycle and a control group where we assign 5% of the users. And then 95% of users will receive new features. So how this works is you can think of this as those 5% of users will not receive any single new feature on their app. There will be stable, and by the end of the cycle, we can measure how much we improve in all the different experiments that we have run. And then what we do is on every single split that we put in production, we create a targeting rule where we basically assign that segment of users to a control group. And this control group is basically the same as the baseline for the experiment. So they have different names, but the configuration is exactly the same. So in this way, in each single split, 5% of the users will have the default value, and those users will have all the default value for all the other splits. And then we can configure the current split with the allocations that we need. And for instance, 50% will receive the baseline, which is the same as the control group, plus all the other features that they might be using, and the new version that we want to measure with, that we want to measure against. And then the other thing that we do is we deploy incrementally in different countries. For us, Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia are super important, are the big countries that we cannot mess with. And as I said, we have no staging environment with real data to test on. So usually what we do is we have a targeting rule that says if the user is in Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Ecuador, or Costa Rica, we will deploy the feature, and we're more aggressive on those. And then when we see that in those countries it works good, we start increasing the traffic in the rest of the countries. So for instance, in this case, we're assigning 5% of the user to the control group, obviously, and then the rest is splitted. Then we assigned a small percentage to the own user, and then the baseline has a bigger one. So we measure, we take a look at the metrics, and if it goes well in search, for instance, add to cart, the percentage of people that actually add a product to cart after doing a search. If that increases, or we see that is statistical significance, or it's moving forward, it's looking good, we increase that percentage to 25%.